Punjabi legends who did manage to win their previous game and get some form going into the tournament. And then, of course, we've got Pakhtun, who are right at the top. Will be taking on Maratha Arabians, which we saw that they were very happy because they won their previous game as well. So we saw some exciting encounters yesterday as well, and we talk about how we needed those close games, and we saw one yesterday in that last over. It went right down to the wire, and in the end, Northern Warriors came through. I've got here with me Jonathan Troth. Jonathan, yesterday was fantastic. I mean, just in terms of the atmosphere and the kind of match that we needed to sort of get going in this tournament.
Yeah, certainly. As we get to the business end of this tournament, we're going to see the teams come up with their formations, or their formulas, I should say, with regards to who's going to be bowling the certain overs there. And having the bowler like you done last night, the way that he bowled the last over, bowling the crucial over, that'll give him confidence the rest of the tournament as well. Well,
he got 3 wickets in that final over, and it was literally they needed 1 run with 1 ball to spare. But again, it's an art when you talk about bowling at the death.
Yeah, and that's what you do. As a captain, you need to find out who's going to be doing that. Certainly in a competition like this, you need to know who you can rely on. And it literally is a little bit trial of error. Here we see, again, the highlights, a great piece of wicket-keeping as well. But then for some reason, he went around the wicket. He changed from around the wicket to over the wicket. We saw a great catch there from Devonage. But then this is the key one here. Feeling that speaking to the players afterwards, that the keeper perhaps could have thrown to the non-striker's end, because the non-striker was backing up and was always going to get home if he missed slightly like that. But being able to throw to the bowler's end would have been a better option. But it was a hell of a game, wasn't it?
Well, it was a great effort on their part, because when you look at the total, Sindhis made only 91 for 6. To defend that kind of target definitely requires a massive bowling effort.
Yeah, absolutely. To get a game that close, you certainly felt that Shane Watson played an unbelievable innings and nobody supported him. So we're starting to see the importance of partnerships. Yes, you need somebody to bat through like that, but you also need to have somebody coming in and not using up balls like the Sindhis batsman did yesterday.
We saw some brilliant catches yesterday as well. Anton Devcich, and then Ben Cutting as well in his over. So we've seen the Sindhis did definitely field really well yesterday.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do. If you're going to try and defend totals like that and try and keep them close, you need to take all your chances. So the standard of fielding has certainly got up. I know in the first couple of games, there were a lot of drops. That's what you need to do. If you're going to try and defend totals like that and try and keep them close, you need to take all your chances. So the standard of fielding has certainly got up. I know in the first couple of games,
one thing is for sure, that the players are
try and defend totals like that and try and keep them close, you need to take all your chances. So the standard of fielding has certainly got up. I know in the first couple of games,
one thing is for sure, that the players
try and defend totals like that and try and keep them close, you need to take all your chances. So the standard of fielding has certainly got up. I know in the first couple of games,
one thing is for sure, that the players
try and defend totals like that and try and keep them close, you need to take all your chances. So
is Shahzad from Afghanistan. We saw him blast it in the first game, so hopefully tonight he can do that again.
And talking about it being the T10, it's a high intensity game. So what do you think is the key?
Oh, I think it's just about coming out and trying to hit as many boundaries as you possibly can. There's no time to sort of reconstruct your innings if you lose some wickets. You just have to come out and try and clear the fence. And it's been amazing coming from Australia to here to see some of the power hitting that's been happening in the T10. So hopefully everyone can take that sort of game plan back to their own countries and continue to play well.
And since you guys have been having back-to-back games, how do you plan to unwind today?
Well, hopefully we'll have a win tonight, and I'm a keen golfer, so Dubai's got some of the best courses in the world. So tomorrow we have a day off, and I might sneak out and try and play some golf.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
No problems. Thanks very much.
Well, golf seems to be a favorite sport for all of you. I know, Jonathan, you were playing earlier as well. But, one of the key things that he spoke about there was the fact that the chance that they have when they're all under one roof and the camaraderie that they share with each other, all the players coming together, somebody like Mohammad Shahzad as well, he was talking about how he's really getting on with him.
And that's what's so fascinating about these tournaments that have started up all around the world, in that you're starting to go to foreign countries that you would only ever go on an international tour, but now you're going and playing plenty of these limited over competitions, but you're also getting to play with subcontinent players. So going to the IPL and playing with the likes of a Kohli or playing with someone from Sri Lanka, a Jai Wardner or a Sangakkara when they were playing, you get to rub up against these greats, but also learn to how they play in these conditions. So going to India as an international side now isn't as daunting as it perhaps was. So it really has sort of made the challenges of playing the subcontinent that much easier. I wouldn't say easy playing the subcontinent, but a little bit less of a challenge.
Well, I can tell you that anybody who's played in these conditions talks about how the conditions have absolutely not changed over the years. So let's head over to Atul Vasan for the pitch report.
Thank you, Zainab. And we are on day 8 of this tournament of this T10 League, and we are back on the first pitch. There are 4 days each. These pitches have weathered. Not much time for the pitches to breathe and get fresh again. Because of the rain also, the pitches are getting a bit sluggish. If you go by the number of runs and you go down, the sheen is missing. It's not as shiny as before. On the first day, probably you could see your face on the pitch, but not anymore. The hardness is still there. The brown grass you see is rolled in to keep the cracks together. And if you see, the bowlers who are bowling the slower ones are getting away with it. I think now the average scores will come down and the bowlers will come into their own, which is a good part. I, as a bowler, empathize with them. I don't want 183 runs being scored and being chased. So I'm all for 91 runs being defended. That's what we saw yesterday. And now on, it won't be as high scoring as before. So good pitch. But the team, the captain winning the toss first, will obviously field first.
Well, it's great to see that the bowlers are finally, coming into their own in this tournament. When you look at it, we saw some higher scores at the top of the tournament. But now, slowly and slowly, we are seeing the bowlers come into form. Now we're ready for the toss, so let's head over.
Well, it is toss time, and basically it's a fight for who's going to field first. I think that's the way it's going to work here. Brendan McCullum, we've got Luke Ronke and Roshan as the match referee once again. Can you win one?
I hope so.
All right, we'll flip it up. Gee, that's a bad flip. It's on the other pitch. I don't think you're going to bat again this time, are you?
No, we're going to have a bowl.
On the strength of the scores yesterday, we're seeing them just sort of peter out a little bit. Both obviously were under 100 and chased down. The last game was a close one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess now that you're sort of a bit unsure of what the wicket is going to be like, I think to have a target to chase makes it a little bit easier. So hopefully we can restrict them as well as we possibly can and chase it down.
Is there a particular area that you need to improve?
I think you just want to be consistent through all areas, really. I mean, obviously, we'd like to make some more runs. At the top order, we haven't really done what we are capable of doing. So the last our couple of wins have been on the back of some brilliant bowling performances. So if we can be better, then that'll be great.
Good on you, Ron. Go and have a great game.
Cheers, brother.
Mate, not enough runs yesterday. You couldn't stop the rot.
Yeah, but Jesus, good toss to lose, I think. Batting first on this looks to be a real trump card, so can't wait to get out there and get stuck in and try and get a bigger score than yesterday.
Oh, man, that positivity, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the wickets are starting to just slow up a little bit as well. If the dew stays away later on, then, who knows what's a good score. But I'm so happy with our squad. I think we've got a great squad. We've got a really nice balanced lineup. A couple of different guys get an opportunity today, and hopefully we can step up and find that winning formula.
Well, there's no doubt the squad, when you look at it, if you get half of them at least clicking in that 10 overs, you're going to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, in such a short game, you can actually find yourself on the wrong side of it very, very quickly, and that was unfortunately what happened yesterday. We caught on the hop. So hopefully we can rectify that today. And we'll get out there and play some good cricket.
All right, mate. Score well.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you. Brendan McCullum. The legends have won. It was a fight for who was going to bowl, and they're bowling.
Well, Punjabi legends bowling first, which means that we'll get to see Rajputs once again batting. Jonathan, again, one of the things that we've seen is that their middle order is also not really clicking for them. Jonathan, when you look at Rajputs, we have seen Mohammad Shahzad at the top, but apart from that one innings, he hasn't really been consistent in this tournament.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the case. You sometimes light the tournament up like he's done, and then you almost have a little bit more pressure on you. People expect it. So hopefully him and Brendan McCullum can get going tonight.
Punjabi legends there again. They've got their left arm spinner in the form of Zahir Khan and Hassan Khan. The way we saw him bowl the other day, he took 3 wickets after Chris Gale hit him to all sides of the park. And they've definitely got the likes of Luke Ronchi, Omar Akmal as well in their squad to be giving them that start. But I think the key for Rajputs, Jonathan, because that's the one element that's been missing from them, is that they haven't shown that consistency and stability when it comes to executing their plans, their batting plans.
Yeah, well, and that's the case. When you have a player like Brendan McCullum, you always want him to contribute. You think he's such a good player, you should do it all the time. But in this format, it's such a volatile type of tournament or type of format. It's very, very difficult to be consistently very good. So you need the other players in your side to start chipping in, and they just haven't been able to do that. But tonight could be the night. I'd also be wary of this type of tournaments. Teams start to get informed towards the end of the tournament, and they become very hot. So when it comes to the knockouts and finals, they're the team to beat.
As a batsman, what would you say are the areas that one should be looking at in terms of hitting?
Well, I think playing straight is always a key. That's the most important thing. Certainly when the ball is going to get a little bit lower, these wickets are starting to get a little bit more worn. The pace hasn't really changed much, but I'd say the consistency in bounce isn't there. Certainly for the seamers, and that's why we're seeing a lot of slower balls. And I think even in power plays with the newer ball, you're going to see lots of variations.
Well, we've seen Mohammad Shahzad, he's walking out as well alongside Riley Russo. The two of them, if they get going, we know that things can turn around pretty quickly. But we're done from here, Jonathan. Thank you so much for your thoughts, and it's now over to the commentary box.
Hello and welcome to another exciting contest in this T10 League. Should be a lot of fun, and there should be a lot of 4s and 6s as we see Mohammad Shahzad walking into the arena. And last time he was here about 4 days back, he smashed the bowlers out of the park. 74 not out he ended up with in no time. The game was over in 17 minutes. Atul Wasan is here with me. Atul, have you enjoyed the T10 so far?
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag so far. As I mentioned in the pitch report, that high-scoring games are not my cup of tea, but the crowd loves it. Boundary ropes, Ramesh Bhai have been brought in, so encouraging big hitting, but everybody's got to go. There is no leverage of anybody trying to play himself in by playing a couple of dot balls. You've got to go bang from ball 1. But in the last couple of days after the rains came, we have seen that people are struggling to clear the boundaries, and those big hits are missing, and a lot more balls being conserved, not many going out of the park as well. So certainly the wear and tear of the pitch actually mixed with this sluggishness paying rich dividends for the bowlers.
As we have another look at the iconic Sharjah Cricket Stadium, so many battles was won and lost. Riley Russo is going to face a spin challenge from Hassan Ali. And straight away gets going with a smashing shot through the offside.
Well, Riley Russo has struggled to get going, and I wonder why. He's a quality player, but generally he's coming at number 3 at times, and today he's opening the batting. He's been sent to counter the left arm spinner. They knew that Hassan Ali starts first up, but they've sent Hassan Khan. They've sent a left arm opening batsman just to probably just push him off his line.
He has a fairly good success. Hassan Khan in PSL played for Quetta Gladiators, and I think now he's moved pace. Captain Pakistan under 19 in the World Cup as well.
Yeah, very steady. He's done well, picked up a few wickets already. He's got the confidence. You can see that the way he handles himself, he's got a certain air of confidence about him. 4 for 21 yesterday. So he's one for the future. That means that he can hold his nerve against the best in the world. It's not easy for a spinner to start with a new ball. We all know that. How good is Mujib in that regards, and I think Hassan is given the new ball that shows the confidence Luke Ronchi has on him.
smash, and that's well fielded at mid-on. Yeah, gone are the days where fast bowlers were asked to choose the new ball. Now I think the spinners do that job.
Yeah, how do they choose that? The seam is thrown the wrong way around just to see the balance. Oh, what a shot. This is what you expect from Shehzad. He's done it in the past. He struggled in the last game. Most of the teams are finding his weak areas, but this time he did it to perfection and stepped out like a butterfly.
Just a little bit heavy for a butterfly, but it's fine. It's twinkle feet indeed. Beautifully managed down the pitch. He's quite a character. He'll go again. Knowing him, he will thrash this one as well. Out of the crease. Yeah, single is the most difficult job for him. Not a 4 or a 6, but rotation of strikes can challenge him. 11 without a wicket.
Live track your order on Swiggy. Swiggy करो, फिर जो चाहे करो.
जी हेलो 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 हेलो
Doesn't get the middle part of the bat, but the intentions are very clear. He'll clear the front leg and hit it. Doesn't get the middle part of the bat, picked up, but the intentions are very clear. He'll clear the front leg and hit it. Doesn't get the middle part of the bat, picked up, but the intentions are very just slackening the pace and making the batsman go hard at him. Full toss is not a bad delivery really to bowl. You get plenty of good results.
That's hit well. He knows his strong areas. He doesn't want to give it in the zone, the radar of Shehzad, which is just outside off stump, short of good length, or anything that is too short. If it has to be short, it has to be quick in his body. Praveen Kumar is not going to do that. So he's just going to bamboozle him with the variety and use of angles.
I thought Sohail Khan bowled superbly at him. Bowled wide, slow Yorkers. So that's the other option that is available. It's set up nicely and it's done the distance. First of the evening. Riley Russo clubbing it quite well.
About time Riley Russo gets going. He's quality player, and I was wondering what's wrong with him. You've seen him do so well with his stroke play all over the world. This time he waited on it. He saw that slower one, and good job. He calibrated his swing with that slowness.
Yeah, these guys need to be ready. Pepsi Catch a Million awaits you. Just the start, only 1-6 hit so far, but if Shehzad stays out there for any length of time, he'll be peppering them in that direction.
Two players which are outside the circle are manning the boundaries. Long on, and the mid wicket. This one was not very comfortable for Shehzad. 24 no loss after 2 overs.
यार अभी गाजर का हलवा होता ना मजा आ जाता.
हाँ मम्मी गाजर का हलवा प्लीज.
और ड्राई फ्रूट्स के साथ.
हाँ ड्राई फ्रूट्स.
फिनिश जल्दी फिनिश.
एक प्लेट मेरे लिए भी कर दो.
स्विगी करो फिर जो चाहे करो. Order from your favorite restaurants. Swiggy.
Two teams that are in desperate need of a win. They've got one more match left, both of them. Rajputs and Punjabi Legends.
Rajputs have got a tougher time if they have to have any hope of going forward. They have to win the remaining 2 games with a good run rate. And now is the time when all the teams are worrying about the run rates. So even if you see a low-scoring game, you would still see the other team chasing it hammer and tongs because they want to get the good run rate going. Zahir Khan coming on to bowl, so another spinner in the fray.
Chinaman Googly from Afghanistan. We've seen a lot of young talent from Afghanistan play in this T10, and they've been very, very watchable. Especially this guy picked up 4
కొంచెం నీ ఇష్టం ఎంతో దానిష్టం రీమిక్స్ కాదా పెట్టు కాగితం రీమిక్స్ కాదా జీవితం కొంచెం నీ ఇష్టం ఎంతో దానిష్టం రీమిక్స్ కాదా పెట్టు కాగితం రీమిక్స్ కాదా జీవితం కొంచెం నీ ఇష్టం ఎంతో దానిష్టం రీమిక్స్ కాదా పెట్టు కాగితం రీమిక్స్ కాదా
Gone through it, was hit extremely hard. Evan Lewis there, the man messing it up, but a couple of big shots to get him going.
Well, spoiled Zahir Khan's figures. 50 runs already in this over.
It was hit extremely
That
hard.
6 was a good shot, but that boundary is unpardonable in between your legs. In a tight game, 4 runs can make so much of a difference in a 10-over game. This is giving away 3 runs extra. Zahir Khan's figures, 50 runs already in this over. It was hit extremely hard. 6 was a good shot, but that boundary
And
is
goes again, sweep shot, prefers it, and this time it's another challenge for the fielder. It's
स्विगी करो फिर जो चाहे करो ऑर्डर फ्रॉम योर फेवरेट रेस्टोरेंट्स स्विगी स्विगी करो फिर जो चाहे करो ऑर्डर फ्रॉम योर फेवरेट रेस्टोरेंट्स स्विगी जो चाहे करो ऑर्डर फ्रॉम योर फेवरेट रेस्टोरेंट्स स्विगी
Started like a train. Just an inconsistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match. It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
A conscious effort from Jordan to...
It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
Still a conscious effort from Jordan to...
It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
Conscious effort from Jordan to...
It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
Conscious effort from Jordan to...
It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
Conscious effort
At the time, but he's enjoying it.
Jordan to...
It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
Conscious effort
At the time, but he's enjoying it.
Jordan to...
It was 50 when he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. But on his day, he's going to win you a match.
Conscious effort
At the time, but he's enjoying it.
Jordan to...
When he raised his bat off 12 balls. Consistency because he is such a different player. Keep growing, but he's picked that man out twice.
Conscious effort
At the time, but he's enjoying it.
Jordan to...
When he raised
जरूर